welcome to ILTV's Evening Update. I'm Aaron Porras here with the latest news from Israel.
Hamas has been trying to block the distribution of humanitarian aid in the Gaza Strip and inciting violence against medical volunteers. According to the Secretary General of the Red Crescent Society of the U.A.E, Hamas has been sacrificing humanitarian envoys. In 2014, he says, Hamas began firing rockets from U.A.E field hospitals, provoking Israeli airstrikes. When the Red Crescent team was leaving Gaza, Hamas accused them of being undercover foreign agents who were escaping. En route through the Sinai, extremist jihadis in the Sinai had apparently been tipped off to the team's presence, and at a grocery store in the Sinai Peninsula, they were attacked. The Red Crescent Secretary General says that, quote, "What hurts is that the betrayal came from our own people, Muslims fighting against Muslims, who were giving humanitarian aid to Muslims." The U.A.E has broken off relations with Hamas's sponsor of Qatar in recent days. Israel has been treating victims of the Syrian civil war now for years, and a new study at the Galilee Medical Center has just found something disturbing. Out of 47 Syrian children treated at the Galilee Medical Center, 37 of them have been carrying antibiotic-resistant bacteria, a staggering 78%. Many of the children carry infectious diseases, and hospital officials now have a policy of placing them in quarantine until their medical examinations are finished. They're also giving the patients tetanus vaccinations. A paper by Diana Faour-Kassim and others has found that 89% of Syrian children treated in Israel have multi-drug resistant pathogens. With between 300 and 500,000 dead as a result of the civil war, the human cost is staggering. According to the Syrian Network for Human Rights, over 200,000 of those casualties are civilians. Jeremy Corbyn's surprisingly solid showing in the UK election saw several Conservative seats flipping to the Labour Party, but not in northern London, where the two constituencies with the largest Jewish populations in Britain stayed Tory. A poll before the election found that 77% of UK Jews plan to vote Tory, with only 13% voting Labour, a historically low number but very understandable in light of Corbyn's explicit support for Hamas and Hezbollah. The narrow electoral victory for the Conservatives has forced them into a coalition with Northern Ireland's Democratic Unionist Party. The DUP, founded by the late Ian Paisley, is a hardline UK unionist party with a strongly anti-gay stance and a fierce opposition to Irish nationalism. But the Ulster province politicians are also strong friends of Israel, influenced both by their evangelical Protestantism and what they see as a similar struggle against terrorism. Some are hoping that as the kingmakers of the new coalition, the DUP will push the new government in a more pro-Israel direction. Israeli President Reuven Rivlin hosted a Ramadan breakfast, or Iftar, last night, and he took the time to call for cooperation between security and police forces in Arab communities. Rivlin says that the Arab community in Israel is crying out against a plague of rampant violence in Arab towns against criminal organizations which are impacting the lives of innocent people. He's planning to host a working meeting between the police leadership and the Arab regional authority heads. The president of Israel's Sharia court, Sheikh Abdel al-Hakim Samara, says that Arabs as citizens feel our personal safety is completely abandoned. Crime organizations are taking over our lives, trafficking in arms, drugs, and women. The mayor of Sakhnin is complaining about the thousands of weapons that circulate in the communities, calling it a malignant cancer as well. Ambassadors from Egypt, Jordan, Turkey, and Kazakhstan also attended Rivlin's Iftar. For just over $15 billion, Intel recently acquired an Israeli startup that makes driverless car technologies. Now, Mobileye's technology is bringing driverless cars to New York City. Mobileye's work on light detection and mapping is enhancing safety for drivers, passengers, and pedestrians, but that's not the only technology transforming taxis in New York. Nexar, an Israeli mobile app that uses a smartphone camera to detect driving dangers, is helping drivers out when it comes to insurance claims. Its real-time network keeps users informed of traffic, infrastructure breakdowns, and pedestrian crossings. Of course, there's Waze too, the world's largest community-based traffic app. Waze shares real-time road data on traffic, accidents, and even police stops, and gives users turn-by-turn directions. Taxi drivers navigating the crowded streets of Manhattan can use the help.
That's all for now. Stay tuned on ILTV.tv for our main daily broadcast playing after this. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you next time with our morning briefing from Israel at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.